Greetings and salutations. My name is OJ as always, and welcome back to another episode of the Overwatchathon, a series of videos where I go over every single character in, well, Overwatch. I'll be covering their lore and personality, their gameplay and abilities, as well as their design and cosmetics. With all of that preamble done and dusted oh so quickly, our object of obsession for today is the latest hero added to Overwatch's roster, at least until the new hero gets revealed in like 7 hours as of when I'm recording this, but either way, we're going to be talking about Wuyang. Now, as I like to do in all of these videos thus far, I would like to start by talking about Wuyang's backstory, lore, history, whatever fancy word you wish to use for it. But before I feel like I need to just explain one thing really quickly. There is a place in Overwatch's world known as the Wuyang, I think that's how you say that, Wuyang University, which is a university that he and his sister attends. And the reason I'm mentioning this before I talk about any of his own personal story is that I need to note that this university is split into 5 colleges, those being fire, earth, metal, water, and wood, respectively, all dedicated to different sort of what would you call it, like different ideas, different concepts. So for example, the Fire College is dedicated to martial arts and defensive strategy, whereas the Water College is dedicated to traditional medicine and medical advancements. I feel like I should explain that a little bit, because the article or the wiki page for Wuyang is weirdly not that finished. Like they kind of just say, oh yeah, he's part of the Wuyang University, and it's just like, okay, you're gonna write about that? Thankfully, I am making this video and I know a little bit about this thing. I don't know, I would hope I would know a little bit about Overwatch, but either way. Moving to Wuyang's specific backstory, Wuyang grew up seeking to uphold his family's legacy within the prestigious Wuyang University Fire College. Striving to meet their standards, he and his older sister Anran trained daily in various forms of kung fu, hoping to follow in the footsteps of their parents. But while Anran was easily accepted as a top student, Wuyang's best efforts were not enough to make the Fire College's admittance cut-off. Instead, he was accepted to the school's Water College, a program that taught traditional Chinese healing methods and philosophies and how to apply them to the modern world, much to the dismay of his parents. As you can see from the comic, this isn't noted anywhere in the wikis thing, but as you can see in the comic from one of the pages, his I don't know if it's his parents or his sister, it's hard to tell, but they're calling for like a recount of his score tests. So clearly that was not an ideal outcome. Unable to pursue the same field of study as his family, Wuyang was left questioning how to navigate the road ahead. During his first year at Water College, he was surprised to find how much he enjoyed his studies. Learning about Qigong came naturally to him, and he found his classes mentally fulfilling, even if not as intense as the action-packed training of the Fire College. However, he had to think outside of the box to set himself apart from his fellow students, and in the back of his mind, it nagged at him that he was the black sheep of the family. He wanted to give his parents a reason to be proud of him despite his initial setbacks. Determined to find a way to marry his studies with his childhood training, he hatched a plan. Wuyang asked his best friend from Metal College, Ming, to adapt one of his prototype staves into a tool that would allow him to manipulate the trajectory of water. With Ming's creation in hand, he began to study Fire College techniques in addition to his normal schoolwork, coming up with innovative fighting combinations from the teachings of both the Fire and Water schools. One night whilst Wuyang was studying, Null Sector suddenly launched an attack on Chengdu. With official forces on the way, the university students were deployed to help evacuate citizens. After a heated argument with Anran, he reluctantly stayed behind to help injured civilians while she headed onto the battlefield with her classmates. But it wasn't long until the tide of battle was turned against them. Anran's unit had been ambushed by Null Sector, and she'd stayed behind to buy the others time to escape. Fearing for his sister's life, Wuyang rushed into the city to her aid, finding her completely surrounded by warbots. Using his own water-based combat techniques, Wuyang completely wiped out the Null Sector units, saving his sister, and together the both of them fought their way back out of the city. Their heroic efforts were recognized by all, including the headmaster of the school, and more importantly, his own parents. Now that is where Wuyang's story, per se, does technically end. However, thankfully, and I'm glad to say this, we do actually have a cinematic for him. I know, crazy. As of late, Overwatch has kind of been expanding into what they used to do per se. I don't know how to explain it. It's like their budget has increased recently. Starting from like Freya onwards, every character has gotten like, well, no, from Hazard, no, Juno onwards, every character has gotten like a cinematic and a comic along their release. And Wuyang cinematic is for some reason not detailed on the wiki, so I'm gonna have to kind of like explain it as best as I can. But basically, after his efforts in the battle at Chengdu, he was slipped a certain symbol underneath his dormitory dorm. Dormitory dorm? Same thing. Overwatch. Overwatch has contacted him, recognized his efforts, and invited him to become, you know, a part of them. Obviously, seeing as they have quite recently reformed. And he has a lot of doubts about that fact. He is not only doubting his own ability, but also incredibly worried that his parents would disown him for joining a group who is, by some accounts, outlaws, criminals in a way. And all of these doubts are put in front of his sister, who confronts him about that, as well as obviously about the Overwatch coin. The both of them fight each other to kind of, I don't know, would you say cool the tension? Kind of let the Unrun quite clearly in the fight provokes him into saying like, oh, I went too easy on you, oh, I should have gone harder on you. And obviously that frustrates Wuyang. And then he, you know, shows off that he is capable, he is strong enough to be part of Overwatch. And then at the end of the cinematic, it's revealed that Unrun also got invited to join Overwatch. So yeah, she's definitely going to be a DPS hero sometime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the next hero after the tank that's meant to be, as of the recording of this video, revealed today. I think she's a tank. She better be a tank. I'm gonna be pissed if the Gladiator woman is not a tank. But yeah, that's kind of where Wuyang's story has ended for the meantime. We haven't, unfortunately, gotten much of him, like, say, joining Overwatch. I think we'll probably have that part expanded once Unrun eventually joins the game, because the both of them kind of go together to join Overwatch. And in terms of his story, I think it has a few issues, and most of it has to do with the whole elemental college stuff. I don't know. I know there's like a lot of weird shit in Overwatch, right? Talking monkeys, people that are stuck in chrono time stuff, but they usually do attempt to explain these things away with some sort of technological bullshit, right? But Wuyang's whole thing with the colleges and the sort of elemental training isn't really well explained. Like, his staff is only, like, the blueprints for his staff, per se, which allow him to control water, is only really explained in a single panel of the comic, which I'm probably showing on screen right now. You can see the blueprint for the staff, and he mentions something about, like, hardening the water, but, like, that doesn't really explain how he's able to control water. Like, when we get to his gameplay segment, you'll see that his primary fire is him shooting a water ball out of the staff, and then controlling it with his fingers. But how does he do that? Like, we don't have an explanation for that. Most of it can be kind of, you know, understand, like, you can kind of, like, there's a sort of a level of disbelief you could probably give, right? So, for example, Unrun in the cinematic is shown using, like, fans, and the fans shoot fire out of them. We don't get a, you know, direct explanation for it, but I don't know, you could kind of presume how that would work. We have flamethrowers in real life. It's probably something along those same lines. But Wuyang specifically is where I have a few qualms, because how does water heal people? And how does water get controlled by the fingertips? Is there like a tiny magnetic ball and his fingertips have like, I don't know, maybe his gloves have like, I don't know. Like, the best idea I really came up with was like, when he shoots something out of his staff, it shoots like a little metal ball that produces water all around it, and the water follows the ball through some bullshit magnetic stuff. I don't know. I don't really understand how his powers actually really work that much, and they don't particularly explain it anyways. But so yeah, he's one of the ones who feel like, they said when he was coming out, they actually said in a few like developer comments or whatever, that magic doesn't exist in Overwatch. I've always thought that was kind of bullshit from the get-go. I mean, Genji and Hanzo have been here since the beginning. They're controlling dragons, right? But that problem has only been enhanced with like Kiriko's inclusion and how basically everything she does is magic outside of the kunais. And now Wuyang has been added, and he weirdly follows in a lot of Kiriko's footsteps with being a character who is mildly entertaining. I like Wuyang more than I do Kiriko, I must admit. But yeah, again, his powers aren't particularly well explained outside of like some very, very vague mentions. So for the most part, to the untrained eye, it looks like magic, and it basically is magic because we don't have a proper explanation for it. But I also want to mention that parts of his story obviously include him being like, doesn't want to disappoint his parents, kind of has that sort of pressure on him. And per the developer interview, I think it was in like one of the developer commentaries about like his release, and they said that they wanted to create a story that was like kind of personal, right? Although it is kind of a stereotype per se, many, you know, like Asian kids kind of struggle with the expectations of their parents. That's a stereotype. Like, things are usually a stereotype because they do happen a lot. And, well, at least in this case, apparently it does happen a lot. I'm obviously not super educated. I'm a white guy. I'm not a Chinese person in any way, shape, or form. I'm not Asian in any way, shape, or form. But they kind of wanted to take that kind of common experience. I believe the writer for Wuyang was actually, or is Asian in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah, they wanted to kind of take that common experience, per se, and include it into Overwatch as kind of a more personal story. However, as nice as that is, and I'm sure many probably can see themselves in Wuyang, I've always thought that one of Overwatch's qualities is that you could see yourself in characters that did all of these kind of crazy things. Like, people could kind of come to terms, or, like, not everyone is, I don't know, what's a good example? Like, who is a good example? Someone like, say, oh, I'm really struggling here. What? You know, like, what is a good example? Someone like Genji, maybe? Like, not everyone's, you know, a cyborg ninja, but they could probably see themselves in him through, obviously, his strive to better himself, for strive to find a new way in life, and to kind of come to terms with big changes in their life. Like, do you kind of get what I'm trying to say, right? Like, people could see themselves in Overwatch characters, even if they were, like, over-the-top criminals. I've seen some people relate to Winston, and obviously Winston is, you know, a talking gorilla. The people that are relating to Winston aren't giant scientifically modified gorillas, right? You kind of get my idea. I feel like intentionally making a character story to be relatable and to be kind of speak to a certain aspect of, you know, like a person's life is a neat idea, but I do think Overwatch benefited from the idea that, like, some of these characters are, you know, like military agents, but you can still find something relatable in them, even if they are a bit mental. Like Junker Queen as well. Like, some people see themselves in Junker Queen in different ways, shapes, or forms. But that woman is literally the queen of a Junkertown city in the middle of Australia's radioactive wasteland. Like, they're not, those people that find themselves in Junker Queen aren't doing that. You get my point, right? But yeah, besides, you know, the qualms I have with this story, I think it's okay. It's nothing like super crazy to me. Maybe it's because, obviously, as I said, I can't really relate to it. I can't really see myself in it, which doesn't stop me from liking stories, but I don't know, it feels like something about it just doesn't really click with me. It's relatively simple, and there's a lot of, like, weird plot holes in it, with obviously the magic stuff and how his powers work, But yeah, the story is fine. It's just nothing super crazy to me. And moving on to talking about his personality, he's charming. He's charming in a dorky way, if that makes sense. Like, he's the sort of guy to do something really, really cool and then kind of make a quippy joke about it, like, wow, that looked pretty cool, huh? Like, that sort of shit. I don't want to say he's got, like, Marvel humor writing, but sometimes it can feel like that. I don't know. He's kind of dorky. He's kind of charming. He's kind of got, like, that Peter Parker, like, kind of... He's got that Spider-Man kind of sense of humor to him, if that makes sense. It's, like, self-deprecating, but he doesn't actually say it out loud. I know. He's kind of charming. There's nothing, like, mental. It's nothing, like, mind-blowing for me. But, yeah, he's moderately charming. I think some of his quips are quite funny. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about him, sort of personality and story-wise. I feel like I've said my piece, per se. So, with all of that said, let's now move on to talking about his gameplay and abilities. Please do keep in mind, for this segment, I use OBS to record my audio and gameplay simultaneously. So if I sound a little bit different in this next segment, I do apologize in advance. But with all of that said, let us now talk about Wuyang's gameplay and abilities. Right, so here we are in the ever so lovely and ever so helpful training range to talk about Wuyang's gameplay. And I may have lied about how much I actually like this character, because as you can quite clearly see on the screen, I have Jade Weapon for him. That's because his gameplay's really damn good. And let's start with the funnest, most unique part about his kit, that being the Jianwu staff. His primary fire is one of the weirdest, most unique, fun things this game has ever created. I mean, they were clearly proud of it, because back when they were teasing him, back when he was called Aqua, that was his code name before we knew anything about him, they said that his primary fire was one of the most unique they'd ever designed. And yeah, they weren't lying. It's not, insane. I'm pretty sure Fortnite did it a couple years ago, but still, you control a damaging water orb, which you can hold down your left mouse button to control its trajectory and empower its explosion. Now, there are a lot of stats on the screen here. Your uncharged direct hit damage is 30. The charged direct hit damage is 100, which is very high for a support's primary fire. The uncharged area of effect damage is 20 to 15, and the charged area of effect damage is 60 to 30. Now, there is does he have fall off in any way, shape, or form? Or am I tripping? It says min-max radius, so the radius of the AoE can be changed depending on how far it goes. Oh, okay. I think I see what it means. So the further the distance of the orb goes, the bigger the radius of the AoE, but the less damage it does. I didn't know he worked like that. Either way, still, it takes 0.3 seconds to charge up the orb to max power, and the max amount of time you can control it is 2.5 seconds. It also takes up 2 ammo per charge shot. Now, to actually show what any of those stats actually mean, if I just click my left mouse button, I'll throw a single water orb out, and it will just kind of slowly travel in a direction. And it curves slightly downwards if you just don't control it. And as you saw, it can obviously hit the enemy directly, do splash. And yeah, the splash damage on it, or the splash on it uncharged, is really damn small. But if you shoot it and then hold your left mouse button, you then control it and it will follow wherever your crosshair goes. This shit is so fun. And it also, actually, before I go into how much I love this thing, this is what I meant earlier when I said he can control it with his fingertips. Like, how does he do this? Like, his fingertip glows. You see that, right? It glows a light blue when you're controlling the orb. How the hell does that even work? How does this staff even produce, like, damn near infinite amounts of water for him to use at his own free will? Lots of questions here, but anyways, this is the most fun, like, primary fire in the whole game. Honestly, I've got no other word for it. And when I said Fortnite did it ages ago, I do mean the guided missile launcher from, like, what was that? Chapter 1, Season 4? It's been a long while. I was like a kid back then. So, yeah, this is like, this is just great. This is just so much fun. It does really good damage. Like, this is one of, Wuyang does have a few bits of utility, but his really solid damage is one of them. Because this thing, like, fully charged up, is just, you can fire this thing from the safety of nowhere. Like, you can be just completely round the corner and just throw it. Okay, admittedly, I'm not great at it, but see, I just got a kill round the corner. I couldn't even see the enemy I'm looking at. It's so hard to explain, but I just find this, like, primary fire, like, the most fun thing ever. Like, I'm not the best at controlling it, mind you, as you can quite clearly see, but, like, it's just so much fun to just throw out the water orb and control it. He's very good at very long ranges. Like, Wuyang can very easily contest, like, Widowmaker. Admittedly, he does have to play kind of carefully, because, you know, Widowmaker can just one-shot headshot him, but he can contest Widow because of his range, because this thing just keeps going. I mean, even when you, like, say, lose control of it, like, it does still continue. Like, that's really far. Let's be honest, like, that's a really far distance. That's absurd, actually, how far it can go before you lose control. Like 2.5 seconds doesn't actually sound like that long when you read it, but no, that is quite long. This is just, it's just a fun ass ability. Or a fun ass primary. I have no idea how to explain it. Like, it's just so much fun to just like flick my cursor around, watch the water orb fly around. Like, you can do some really fun stuff with it as well, like in terms of trajectory. If you play well, I mean, theoretically, you could like throw it upwards. Like, a lot of the time, you might have seen it in... I obviously had like B-roll footage playing in the background, right? You saw how I was using it. I can use it to throw it up and then up, back down. I don't know. It's just a fun primary fire. Like, genuinely, he's one of the most fun characters to play as in the game, at least in my opinion, of course, solely off of his primary fire. This is just infectious fun. And it's good as well. That's the best part. I mean, 100 damage is really solid. That's really good for, you know, a support. I don't think anyone else has like a higher damage number in terms of base. Like, Anna's is 75. Obviously, like, someone like Baptiste, he obviously can do more if he hits his headshots. Like, if he hits his entire burst and it's all critical, he does like 150 damage. But that's the difference. Like, he has to hit all of his shots as headshots, whereas Wuyang just kind of has to, like, well, look in your direction. He just needs to follow you and track you and look and bang, 100 damage. It's really solid damage. But it's not like crazy, because obviously there is a, you know, a kind of gap between each water orb. There is a space where you could get healed in the time frame between an enemy Wuyang, you know, hitting you with water orbs. And I feel like I need to address this immediately, because all of his damage kind of comes from this certain distance where he begins to charge up his actual water orbs. Wuyang is very susceptible to being dove. Like, really susceptible to being dove. He just, like, crumbles. Like, if a Genji jumps him, he dies. Because if you're, like, getting up in Wuyang's feet, you probably saw it in my gameplay. There was, like, there was an instance where I got, like, jumped by, I think it was a Reaper. I just can't do anything. Like, if a Reaper, like, Genji, someone like that, someone dives you, literally, what, you're gonna just do this? Like, this looks okay, you know, on, like, these bots, but when you've got a Genji double jumping around you, throwing shurikens and, like, two-shotting you, this is not gonna do you well. So, yeah, Wuyang is very susceptible to being dove. He does prefer to play at, like, a mid-range, long-range, but, hey, he does have an ability to try and help him out with that. But before we can obviously get to that ability, let's talk about his main form of healing, which, again, is relatively unique to him. I actually quite like how his healing works. You place a passive healing stream on an ally, and you can hold the right mouse button, or whatever you have the key set to on the target in question to manually heal them at an improved rate, consuming a resource bar, not too different from, say, Moira. The passive healing is 25 per second, the locked-on beam healing is 50 per second, you have a 20-meter range for the lock-on, it uses up 33.3% per 33.3% per second when obviously charging it. It regens at a rate of 12.5 per second, and if you use up all of it, there is a 2-second delay before you can begin regenning. The passive line of sight lost duration is 5 seconds. So if they are out, so just as a show, I press right click, I apply this kind of passive water healing stream around them, and over time they will just simply receive healing. But if I go out of line of sight and I am, you know, here dilly-dallying about for 5 seconds, the stream will come off of them. Not too dissimilar to Zenyatta and how his Orb of Harmony works, where if you are out of line of sight with the target, the orb just comes off. And the line of sight loss duration for the, you know, focus beam is 1 second. Now to show what that looks like as well, if I hold right click, I will charge up the beam and you'll see the bar in the middle of my screen will go down, and eventually I'll run out of, you know, resource to heal them with. And of course, as it mentioned, the recharge rate is relatively slow, but Wuyang, interestingly, is a character that I feel like was designed with perks in mind, if that makes sense. He has perks that kind of make up for his shortcomings. Like, this is a really slow recharge rate for, you know, like his passive or his bar, right? That's kind of slow. It is kind of mediated by his perks. He feels like a character that was designed with perks in mind, quite interestingly. But I want to get this out of the way right away. I saw compliments, or no, I saw criticism when he came out that his healing wasn't good. Liars. Liars. Straight up lying. Wuyang's healing is great. The passive heal, not too crazy, right? Like, I'm not going to argue that Wuyang could be used as a main healer per se. He's very much kind of a side piece to someone who has a more quote-unquote consistent healing output and probably a higher healing output. But I saw people parading around like he had bad healing. No, he does not. He's got great healing. Like, the charged up beam healing is good. And obviously, just having this healing be on someone passively is also very solid. Like, his healing is good, it's easy to use, it's kind of a fire and forget kind of thing. Like, outside of instances where, you know, like an ally's critical and you need to quickly, like, heal them back up to full. For the most part, you can kind of just put it on someone and forget about it. Which allows you to, of course, have time to, you know, throw your water orbs around. This is where he has this is Wuyang's utility. Utility? I meant to say utility, but utility is kind of funny. That's Wuyang and utility merged into one. But like, because his healing is kind of fire and forget, it allows you to kind of focus more on damage. So whilst your allies are being healed, outside of the instances where you need to like fill them up, you can just do damage. That's the benefit. Like, he can heal and not have to think about doing much else, meaning you just do damage. It's like his utility comes in the fact that he does really decent healing and really decent damage. Not too dissimilar, again, to Zenyatta. The two of them have a lot of weird comparisons. Both of them are characters who have healing that is kind of fire and forget, and in the meantime, they can just do really good damage in their own ways. Which is, you know, I think that's neat. I think it's good to have another character like that. But anyways, moving on to his abilities, the first of which is Guardian Wave. There is a long-ass list of stuff here, actually. That's a very big description. This is another form of utility for him. This is more traditional utility, shall we say. You send out a water wave forward that increases the amount of healing received by allies and knocks back enemies. So yes, he is the second character in the game that has the ability to increase the amount of healing received by his allies. Or the only other character in the game that has that fact, or has that ability, is Ana. Which, you know, that's great. That's good to have, you know, another character who has that specific form of utility. I'm actually kind of surprised it took them this long to add another character that could increase the amount of healing received. But this is a very good ability, right? What are the stats we looking at? So it does 80 healing, so the wave itself does 80 healing. It increases the amount of healing received by 50%, which is very big. That effect lasts for 3 seconds, which again, it's pretty damage. Pretty damage? Sorry, I'm reading ahead of myself. Pretty decent. It does 80 damage at base and 40 at its maximum range, and it does have a min-max fall-off range. So when you're closer, say you're like, so as it says here, the min-max fall-off range is 4 to 17.5 meters. So it'll do 80 damage at 4, and it will slowly lose its amounts until at 17.5, which is its max range, it will only deal 40 damage. The actual shockwave, which I believe is the impact hit, so, wait, hold on. The shockwave. Oh, that's the actual wave itself. Okay, my bad. It has a 3 to 10 degrees? Sorry, they didn't really explain some of these stats very well. That's, okay, it has, okay. So it has a 30-meter range. It has an 18.5 meters height thing. So it's 1.8 meters high. It moves at 30 meters per second, so it basically reaches its full distance in a second. And it has a 1.8 to 20 meters climb/drop. I really wish they kind of explained what some of that shit means. And a little hidden feature is that when you use it, you actually increase the regen of your restorative stream. So obviously the actual energy cost becomes words. The energy cost now restores itself at 33% quicker rate, on top of obviously its normal rates. And it also has a knockback 50 meters. Now, that's a lot of words. There's a whole lot of words. There's a lot of descriptions, a lot of stuff that I actually don't understand for once. Like, I'm sorry, what the hell is degrees? What? Does it mean, like, the angle at which the wave goes out? Or, either way, you press E, you smack the staff on the ground, and you send out a wave that will, travel forward, hit any enemies, knock them back. You can actually get, like, environmental kills with it. and if it hits an ally, it will give them the burst of healing, and it will also increase the amount of healing they receive. Now to show the knockback, there you go. Simple as that. You can knock people off the map, and it's very fun to do that with the wave. A good place to do that is Lijiang Tower. You know exactly what area I'm talking about. I don't remember what point it is, but it's where it's got like the two bridges. You always see like a wrecking ball knock people off the map, or like a Doomfist punches everyone off of that little bridge that leads to the main point. I've done that with Wuyang a few times. It's very fun. But just to show, of course, as well, when you actually hit the allies, you are then able to obviously apply the extra healing to them. This is a really, really, really good ability. Like, this is one of his best. It's probably his best tool, probably, because obviously it's an ability that increases the amount of healing received, which is, you know, is not game changing, but that is a huge deal considering that Anna's the only other one with it. But the fact that it's like this huge wave that can usually hit the whole team and the enemy team, so you get to do damage to the enemies, you get to do healing to your allies, and you apply increased healing to all of your allies. Like, that's a big deal. And it allows Wuyang's healing to look really impressive, as well as obviously assist the other healer on the team in doing a lot of healing as well. This helps him make his healing, like, if he did not have the Guardian Wave, I think his healing would be quite bad, all things considered. It wouldn't be really that different from, say, Mercy, really. But because he has Guardian Wave, and it's usually, I mean, it's on a 14-second cooldown, right? But it's usually up whenever you really need it. I know, it's weird, because on paper, he's like the opposite of Mercy, where on paper, his healing looks bad, but it's not. It isn't. It actually feels quite strong. Whereas Mercy looks pretty good on paper, but then in practice, she feels quite bad, and it feels like she doesn't do any healing. And I think the key component for that fact is Guardian Wave, because increasing the amount of healing you do by 50%, that makes your passive healing do 50 per second, which is pretty big, and then that makes your actual specific beam healing do 75 per second. Like, that's a big deal, right? Oh, wait, no, the passive, if it's an increase by 50%, the passive healing would be 37.5, and then the beam healing would be 75. Either way, that is still more impressive and quite strong. Now, moving on from the Guardian Wave, it's a very good ability. I feel like I've made that quite clear. You have Rushing Torrent, where you ride water to move faster and jump higher. This is Wuyang's defense mechanism. I said earlier that he is very susceptible to diving, and that's especially the case when this ability isn't up. If this ability is up, you are not really that diveable, I'm going to be honest. This ability lasts for 4 seconds. It gives you an increase of 50% move speed. It makes it so your jump speed jumps to 6 meters per second, and you kind of, whenever you jump, you like launch yourself forward, and that's at 25 meters per second. Now to show what that looks like, you press shift. Well, no, I know what the launch meant actually. When you press shift, you dash forward initially, and now you are moving on water, you are faster, and you also jump higher. This is obviously your get out of, this is like your sticky situations card. Like, oh, there's again, go back to my previous example. Genji is diving me. Oh no. You just run away. Just run away as fast as you can. You are harder to hit, faster. That initial burst allows you to kind of like skid around a movement, like skid around a corner or something. Like, oh, Genji's right behind me. You just run away as fast as you can. And look, you can kind of make like, you can make like cool jumps. Like I jump from there to there. Like, it's good. It's a good ability. It's very good movement. But this is literally his only defense mechanism. When this ability is on cooldown, he can get dove like really badly. He will struggle a lot against characters that dive him because he's not fit to fight in a close range. He is fit at these medium, long range fights. So whenever he doesn't have this up, and I say a Doomfist dives him, yeah, it's over. Funny enough, Doomfist is actually a weirdly good counter to him due to Doomfist having a perk where his Seismic Slam slows people by, I think it's 40%. That literally is like, that hurts Wuyang so much. Like that makes this ability just shit. Like, because it reduces the move speed, or your move speed, by 40%. So the only extra move speed you're getting is 10% from this, which is, you know, not enough, or not a lot at least. So yeah, it's this is a very good ability, mind you. It's good for movement, good for getting out of fights, getting into fights, getting around the place. Like, it's just really solid movement. But if it is down, you are very susceptible to being dove by divers. So please do keep that in mind. I would recommend personally to kind of save it for when you can. I may not always do that, but I would say, like, if you're in a team fight, don't just kind of like use it. Just kind of like wait it out. See if someone tries to jump you. See if someone starts like shooting at you. I don't know, say there's, again, what's a good example? Let's use a hit scan, for example. You like Cass or something. He's coming at you, he's trying to shoot you. Kind of use it to move around. Just make yourself unpredictable, because like there is a kind of a bit of a lag when you move from side to side, as you can see. There's a bit of drag that kind of stops you from just instantly swapping from left to right, but still, just try and move unpredictably. Kind of move around, jump around, backwards, forwards, spin around in circles, back, forth. You get the idea. Now, I did mention earlier that his perks kind of make up for a lot of his shortcomings. And that is especially clear with his first set of perks, which I believe are weirdly better than his mages. The first of which being Overflow, where you gain 10 ammo and 50% of your healing resource when Rushing Torrent is activated, so your movement ability. This is very good. It's a very solid perk. You know, get some ammo back, get 50% of your healing resource back, which is, you know, quite a decent amount whenever you activate an ability that's on a 8-second cooldown, is it? Yeah, 8-second. But, however, in my opinion, I believe his other perk, known as Balance, is more strong. Whenever you deal damage with your water orbs, that doesn't have to be charged ones, mind you, you increase your restorative stream's passive healing by 30% for 2 seconds. Now, I mentioned earlier that his healing is very much kind of fire and forget, in a sense. You just attach the stream to someone and it will just heal them over time. And I said, again, that you can do damage during this time. So if that's how I play him, you know, why would I not want to make it so whenever I deal damage with my orbs, I do more healing? Like, this is a perk that is always going to be useful. It's always going to be up. It's not attached to any sort of cooldown, and it fits well with his already existing gameplay loop. Like, whenever you can't, you know, use the kind of manual beam, this really helps. This really makes up for the fact that his passive healing isn't that great. So 30% of 25, what's that? I don't know. It increases it to something like 32 or something like that. It's like 31 healing per second, which is better, in my opinion. It's just like Balance is such a good perk. Like, up until you get that first perk, Wuyang can feel a little bit weak, but usually once I have Balance, it's smooth sailing. Like, I will be doing good healing, I will be doing good damage, because I'll be incentivized to do damage to get more healing out of myself. Like, it's kind of just a win-win, really. And with that said, we can move on to his major perks, those being Ebb and Flow and Falling Rain. Now, Ebb and Flow used to be my go-to perk because, well, the way it worked is that your Guardian Wave will rewind to its starting position. Now, that used to just be how the perk worked, full stop. So, you would send out the wave, it would go to the 30 meters, and it would come all the way back. And because it comes back, it reapplies everything that it does. So that 80 healing gets reapplied, so it does like 160 healing in total, and then that makes it so the amplified healing thing that you get from the wave is now basically 6 seconds long, which is, you know, is that longer than Anna's? I think? Maybe? Potentially? How long does Anna's last? Wow, theirs are equal in 50% extra healing for 3 seconds. So yeah, Wuyang was able to make the entire team have extra healing received for, you know, 6 seconds, which is a long time. And it also obviously did its extra damage. And because it came backwards, it would knock the enemies towards you, which is counteractive to how Wuyang wants to be played, but beneficial to basically everyone else. However, they realized that this perk was really damn good and added this little extra bit on end where it says has 50% less effectiveness when rewinding. So now when it comes back, it only increases the amount of healing received by 1.5 seconds or for 1.5 seconds. So it lasts for 4.5 seconds in total, and the increased healing is only 25% extra. So it's still a good perk, right? But it's just kind of weaker. And the other perk, which is known as Falling Rain, where now instead of controlling one orb, you control 3 that deal 60% decreased damage and have a 25% decreased empowered explosion radius. The second perk is just better, I think, now. Because now, like, the reason Guardian Wave 1 before was so strong is because, you know, you're getting like 6 seconds of increased healing, doing 160 healing in total. Like, that's some big burst healing and a really good buff for a long time. But now it's 50% less effective on the way back, so yeah. I already mentioned that I've mentioned many times now that I like to play Wuyang in a kind of passive way, like have the healing stream attached to them and, you know, throw out as many water orbs as possible. And obviously, ebb and flow does exist, so any damage you deal with water orbs increase passive healing by 30% for 2 seconds. So now I have 3 orbs. Yeah, you kind of get the idea, right? And so now it's easier to proc ebb and flow because all it takes is 1 of the 3 orbs hitting. And also, importantly, you kind of just get a general DPS buff. Like, it says that each orb now deals 60% decreased damage, and they have a decreased empowered explosion radius. But 3 orbs that deal 40% of the normal damage, that's 120% in total. So you're getting a 20% damage buff, really. Like, you do 120 on a direct hit. So that's like a 20, you get a DPS buff if you hit all 3 orbs. And now it's even easier to, you know, proc balance. Is it balance or ebb and flow? No, balance. Ebb and flow is the wave one. Whoops. I'm getting my names mixed up. Balance, I mean. So yeah, now I have 3 orbs that kind of go around, and obviously that makes it easier to, you know, actually proc balance. So yeah, for me, I personally like the triple orb perk more because it's already kind of working well with what I want to do. And the DPS buff, I mean, look, I just 2-shot them. Like, if we pull out, I've obviously mentioned earlier that Widow is kind of someone that can weirdly get countered by Wuyang, and just as a show of force, if I hit, yeah, you need to just hit 2 sets of the triple water orbs and she's dead. That's a pretty big deal. That's decent. That's really good DPS for someone like Wuyang. But the thing is with Wuyang, I feel like the difference between, like, so him and Kiriko, right? Let's do some comparisons, right? Because I did mention them in a comparative format earlier. Kiriko does 60 damage on her kunais and 120 on critical headshots. So that is actually the same amount as Wuyang with his triple orb perk. But notice what I just said. Kiriko can do 120 damage, you know, just by hitting crits, which is not very difficult. Her kunais have very high projectile time. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Or very fast projectile speeds, and it's not hard to hit headshots for her. I can't, because I'm bad at aiming, per se, but still, she can do 120 damage right out of the gate. Wuyang kind of has to, you know, get a second perk. You have to kind of get this second perk to do that. So I've seen people like kind of compare the two and say like, oh, if you're going to criticize Kiriko for, you know, her damage, why don't you criticize Wuyang for his damage? But not only does he have to kind of, you know, get a second, it has to get a major perk to even come to the same level as Kiriko's critical hits, but he also does actually kind of have to try. Like, the water orbs aren't just like a click and play. Like, you do have to have some sort of map knowledge. You do have to have general, like, you need to have like a third eye for knowing where a target is when they go around a corner. Like, you kind of have to sort of like kind of envision through a wall where this is. I do wish Wuyang had like a, like, say when the water orb went around the corner, I do wish you could see like the silhouette of it. A bit like, you know, how I can see like the silhouette of my allies. I do wish you could do that with his water orbs, but like, it's not like click and forget, right? You do kind of have to use your brain a little and think, where would the enemy go? I will make the water follow their movements. Like, he's not just click and play, right? He's not as easy to understand or easy to use as Kiriko, at least in my opinion. On the damage front, I mean. On the damage front. That's what I'm trying to say. And I just realized I went through all of this shit without actually ever talking about his ultimate. Trust me. I avoid. Tidal Blast. It's the final piece of the puzzle, his ultimate. You can protect an ally or yourself with water that detonates after a short cooldown. The explosion knocks down enemies and massively heals the host target. So it gives you 400 over health. The detonation does 250 healing, which massively heals. Okay, that is quite the statement when it's 250, which admittedly that is quite a lot of healing, but still. It does 100 damage, so the explosion does 100 damage. The target, when given the water orb, the water barrier, what do we want to call it? Water shield? I don't know what I want to call it. They actually get increased movement speed, which scales quickly. It goes from 20% to 50% by the end of it. The explosion radius is 7.5, it lasts for 3.5 seconds, and the knockdown lasts for 1.5 seconds. Now, when you press Q, you get the option to either place it on an ally or yourself, and just obviously for ease of use, I will apply it to myself. I use it on myself, I get the barrier, it says a countdown on the screen, and explode, and they get knocked down. Simple as that, right? And obviously as a show, you get the extra movement speed, and yeah, you get really fast by the end of the sort of cooldown for Tidal Blast. I didn't actually know it said on screen the countdown. I thought it was just a sound related thing. I thought you kind of had to just guess from the sound. And it's cool that it obviously has the timer on the screen. But this is a very good ult. It's kind of like a, what would you call it? Like a supportive Reinhardt shatter. I think that's the best example I have for it. So most of the time, at least in my experience, this is a tank tool. You kind of just put this on your tank. They run headfirst in and blow up, and now everyone's stunned on the floor and they get to kill them for free, usually. It's just a really solid ult. There's nothing really crazy to say about it. It can be used as a kind of protection tool. Like, you know, obviously people use like Suzu when an ally is low health, or they'll use Immortality when they're on low health. You can do the same with his ult. Not as often, obviously, it's an ultimate. But like, say an ally gets like on low health, say it's your tank, for example. I feel like it's an easy example. You just kind of slap the Tidal Blast on them, and then they can just run back in with basically full health and blow up and, you know, knock people down and easily get them killed. Like, just an example, Ramatra really works with the ult because he just goes into Nemesis form. He gets the extra move speed from Tidal Blast, knocks everyone down, punches them. Any tank, really. I don't know a tank that doesn't benefit from it. Like, Wrecking Ball kind of does and doesn't benefit from it because the extra movement speed can throw, you know, kind of throw his movement out of whack. But being able to crash headfirst into people whilst knocking them all down is very strong. The only tank really who doesn't benefit from it, it's probably Zarya. I don't know. She obviously would like to just run headfirst in and explode in front of everyone, but she doesn't benefit as much as everyone else does, I don't think. Sigma is also kind of in the same camp, but at least with Sigma, like, you can chain his rock out of the actual Tidal Blast, so you can have someone stunned for like 3 seconds, which is just like a guaranteed kill at that point. There is no way that wouldn't be a guaranteed kill, actually. But yeah, this is a good ult. I like it. It's unique as well. We don't really have an ult similar to it. Like, it's kind of, it feels more like a tank ult than anything. But you can apply it to yourself, apply it to an ally. Obviously, let's not mention that you can apply it to any DPS in the game. Tracer is a absolute scary thing. Like, seeing this just blue bubble blinking towards you before blowing up, like, that is petrifying, actually. Or seeing a Junkrat fly through the sky. Like, you kind of just can use it. It's not too dissimilar, weirdly, to Nano Boost in a way. Like, obviously, it's not as strong as Nano Boost in terms of buffing, but like, for example, you can apply the water barrier onto Genji when he uses his ult. That just benefits him, like, net positive. Like, now people near him will get stunned and knocked down, making slashes easier to land. And, of course, it gives him extra movement speed, which makes him harder to hit. The enormous amount of overhealth makes you damn near unkillable. Like, they basically, when you apply this to someone, they are immortal. It's very rare that I've actually ever seen the overhealth get depleted. But, yeah, it's a very strong ability. I like it. It's a very good ult. Very fond of it. Honestly, Wuyang's kit is like the best thing about him. His kit is just fun, different. He just feels different. He's got the right amount of utility. He's not like, his kit isn't like over bloated. Like, he's got unique damage. He's got a unique way of healing. He's got, you know, amplified healing for his wave, but that is reasonably on a 14-second cooldown. He has weaknesses because whenever Rushing Torrent is not up, he can be dove. Like, he feels very balanced. He feels good. But he feels balanced, which is nice. I was very fond of him when he first came out. Like, when the hero trials came out, I got him to level 15 in the hero trial. Like, I was enamored with how much fun he is. He's fun. He's balanced. He's like one of the most comfortable hero releases we've had in ages. Like, if we just go backwards, right? Freya, when she came out, was an absolute disgusting menace that I despise with my very core because she felt so strong. Like, we go back again. Hazard is very strong right now. Okay, I say very strong right now. He did actually get nerfed in the mid-season patch, which was very funny to me. But yeah, he was very strong when he came out. He felt very oppressive. Like, he's a very competent dive tank. We go back again. Juno, when she released, was a bit of a problem. That's why she got nerfed so much. Venture is... right now, Venture's very good. Very good in a dive comp. Like, we just keep going back. These characters are either very, very strong and oppressive, or they're like really kind of bad now. Like, it's one or the other, right? We can keep going back if you want. Do you even want me to talk about what he was like when he came out? Mauna was overpowered as shit when he came out. He's like one of the... Him and Brig are going toe for toe for strongest characters on release. This guy was a menace. But, and funny enough, he did actually get pseudo-buffed with mid-season, so... Yeah, maybe we'll see the rise of Mauna again. But yeah, Wuyang is like the first character in a very long time where I feel like he's come out and he's just good. He's balanced. He doesn't feel oppressive and annoying and super duper strong, but he doesn't feel like really, really weak. He's strong, he has his strengths and weaknesses, and they're very clear as well. It's not kind of muddled. I know, I love him. I think he's one of the most fun supports in the game. I think he's a real star in terms of balance as well. Yeah, Wuyang's great. Fun gameplay, balanced gameplay. He's good, but not like great. Well, I say he's great. He's not overpowered. He's not weak. I think they've struck like a perfect balance with him, which is more than I can say for like basically any other character in Overwatch 2. Like even like some of the release characters like Kiriko, you already know how I feel about her. Or if you don't, she's stupid. She's a very stupidly strong character. Sojourn has consistently been one of the strongest DPSs. She's got an absurd damage output. And Junker Queen is very strong as well. Of course, she does have her counters, but she is also very strong. Was very strong on release as well. Ram, yeah, very strong on release. Kinda. He was a bit weak on release, actually. And he did get much better, and he did kind of run the game for a little bit. But you kind of get the idea, right? Most of these characters, like, abysmal. Abysmal on release. And, see, you know what, actually? Yeah, Ilari and Wuyang. I feel like they're the two characters who have come out, and they're balanced. They're fine. They're not, like, they're good. They're not broken. They're not bad. So, yeah, I think these two are, like, the shining stars of Overwatch's kind of balance. They feel both. They've got strengths and weaknesses. They both have oddly similar kits, actually, now I think about it. But, yeah, I like Wuyang. I like Wuyang a lot, actually. Gameplay-wise, at least. But with all of that said, let us now move on to talking about his design and his cosmetics. Now, when it comes to Wuyang's base design, I think it's pretty okay. I don't think his design is anything really that impressive, per se. We have known what he looked like for a very long time, per I think it was BlizzCon 2024. They showed off concept art for him, and he looks damn near identical to his concept art. I do miss the jacket, though. I'm probably showing the concept art on screen right now. He did have a jacket on, and I like funny enough, the jacket is actually still around his waist, which I kind of wish he was wearing it. I like the look of the jacket on, but I have a feeling that when Unrun, his sister, comes to the game, she'll be the one actually wearing a jacket instead of, you know, what Wuyang has done where he kind of has like it around his waist. But in terms of design, I think Wuyang is pretty solid. I don't think he's anything insane per se. He's a very, very fit sort of young Chinese guy. I don't really know what to say. He's wearing quite a lot of blue, which of course is indicative of his, you know, water college. He obviously has the cool little water orb in his hand as well, which is quite neat. He has some Chinese influences into his design with the kind of red, whites, and golds. Obviously, he's got, I don't know what this is, but obviously there's Chinese characters on there, which of course I'm going to presume that's something related to China. And he also has a jade necklace on, which jade jewelry is kind of, I'd want to say synonymous with China. I've always thought of it as like a Chinese thing. He also has like a cool little earring with kind of a wave going down it, which is probably culturally relevant in some way, shape or form. I don't know, his design is pretty solid. It kind of incorporates his heritage as a Chinese guy and also the influences of his, you know, water college training quite neatly. It's very simple design, nothing super crazy to write home about. Another sign of Chinese influence, by the way, is the cool gauntlet thing that he has, which I believe is probably how he controls the water in some way, shape or form. I mean, it's coming out of his hand right here, so yeah, probably. It's kind of got like a cool Chinese look to it. I don't know how to explain it. And I think his weapon is super cool. I'm a sucker for staves and like lances, glaives. Those are always been my favorite sort of weapons. Just a point of reference, in Monster Hunter, I've always been a lance main. I know people find it boring, but I enjoy it a lot. But yeah, like, his staff looks awesome. I love the color scheme on it. The red, white, it's just the red and gold. The red and gold is just easy win for me. I must admit, I am kind of a sucker for sort of Chinese looks, if that's aesthetics, shall we put it? I don't know how to say that. Like, well, what's a good example? For any of you who have played Hoyoverse games, so Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, etc., my favorite regions are almost always the Chinese ones. Like, Liyue is my favorite Genshin region, and the Zhanzhou, I think that's how you say that. The Zhanzhou Luofu, that is my favorite Star Rail area, like, quite easily, at least in terms of aesthetics. I've always loved kind of like Chinese aesthetics. I don't know how else to really put it, actually. But yeah, his stuff looks great. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's a unique weapon. I really like it. But with his base design kind of done and dusted, let's address the title of the video. You probably have noticed and may have been wondering, why have I titled the video A Victim of Overwatch 2's, what did I put? Monetisation. Well, you may have noticed a track record, of course, when we've been going through the supports, that the young, attractive Asian characters tend to get a surplus of skins, right? So, of course, the elephant in the room, and I mean it literally, is Kiriko, young, attractive Asian woman or Japanese woman. And yeah, I already went into like a 20 minute long rant about all of these skins, right? You understand the issues. Same went for Juno, young, attractive Asian woman, specifically Vietnamese. Look at all these skins she's gotten. By the way, she came out 2 seasons after Venture, someone who only has 3 legendaries to their name. And by the way, Juno also has a mythic. Wuyang is another proprietor of this. As much as I like him, and I think like his gameplay is really fun, I think his design is pretty solid. I think his story is fun enough, even if it has a few plot holes in it. He feels like a character that they just designed to sell skins. I feel like he's the biggest example of it. He has been out for less than 3 months now, right? And in his own season, his first ever season, he had Poolside, which was part of the Ultimate Bundle. So he had a skin on release, even if it was locked behind a 35 quid bundle. And this is a pretty decent skin, all things considered, but immediately you can see the issue. Like, his first ever skin, and it's just him shirtless. They're trying to do the sex appeal thing, like, immediately. They didn't even try and hide it. Like, it was kind of absurd how quickly they got to it. I was expecting them to at least do, like, some cool stuff with him before they just went, make him shirtless. Like, but then again, I mean, it's a fun enough skin. And then he got a collab skin immediately. That's like the quickest turnaround for a collab from release to collab outside of like the season 1 characters. Like Kiriko got Tatsumaki from One Punch Man immediately, right? But that kind of makes sense. She kind of fits the bill quite well. But again, like Juno, when Juno came out, people said that she was, like, when we got the My Hero collab, people said that Juno was basically made for the collab, because they do plan these collabs like multiple months in advance, and they kind of have to schedule it with the license holders, etc. This is a case where I actually kind of believe it. I really do believe they had this shit planned out from day one. There is no way they designed a young, attractive, Asian guy and just had Joker ready to go immediately. They had Joker from Persona 5 ready to go immediately. And the worst part is he fits the bill damn near perfectly. Maybe not skills-wise, but appearance-wise. Wuyang literally does feel made to be Joker, which feels weird. And I don't like that immediately upon release, he had 2 legendary skins. 2 immediately. I mean, that's good. That's what we should be doing. But one of them is a, collab skin that's never going to be available for until they like bring it back. I mean, they've brought back a few collabs recently, but like we don't know when it will be coming back. So this is a limited time thing. And of course I bought it. I'm a Persona fan. What did you expect? I play Overwatch every other day, and I'm a Persona fan through the heavens and above. No shit, I was going to get Joker. But, I mean, I don't know who I would have actually given Joker to. My crack shot theory was like Lucio, because Persona 5's music is about as important as everything else in it. I think Lucio as Joker would have been a really cool look. Like, it may not have, like, fit, per se, but I think he would have, rocked the fit well. And I think having, like, the music from Persona 5 playing through his, his abilities, like, I don't know, what's a good example? Maybe you have, like, beneath the mask for like the healing mode and take over for the speed boost mode, something like that, right? Or last surprise for the speed boost. Like, just play a few notes from it just to kind of like get you in the groove. And I don't know, you could have had like the beat drop for take over as, you know, his ult thing, right? But Wuyang being Joker fits appearance wise, just not particularly skills wise. But then this season has come out and he got another collab skin and a battle pass legendary. Why did he get 2 collab? This is really ugly, by the way. I don't think he really fits Garou at all. I know Garou has a few moves where he has like water names for them, but I don't think Wuyang fits him at all, not even appearance wise. Like, he looks like half the age of Garou. So I don't like this skin. I think it's actually quite ugly. But 2 collab skins back to back, really? Back to back. And like, all of his skins are limited time stuff, by the way. Like, the only one, you can't get any of these. Like, what, this is gone, right? So once, if you didn't buy it when it came out, this is gone. If you didn't buy this when it came out, it's gone until further notice. And Poolside was part of the Ultimate Bundle, so it's gone, and it's gone until further notice. And they haven't updated loot boxes, so this isn't even in loot boxes at all. So, and this is a Battle Pass legendary, so once it's gone, it's gone. Like, all of his skins are exclusives and in some way, shape, or form. It's just none of these could ever come to the shop again outside of, you know, in like, I don't know, 7-8 months time where they do P4 collab or something silly like that. It's like, he's gotten 4 legendaries in under 3 months when Venture has been in the game for almost a year and has 3. One of them is a collab skin, one of them is a shop skin, and one of them is a Battle Pass legendary. Hazard has been in the game since season 14, right? Wuyang has been in the game since season 18. So, and Hazard only has 2. He has 2 legendaries. He has Wuyang almost has as much legendaries as Venture and Hazard combined when having been in the game for like a 12th of the time that those 2 characters have been in the game. Combined, I mean. I think that's really bad. I mean, I've already expressed many a times that I don't like how they give out these skins. Just like, he has already become the next gen Kiriko. And Kiriko isn't even old gen. She's only like 2 years old in terms of like being in this game. Like, how does it? He has as many skins. He has more skins than Hazard and Venture. And he's been in the game for under 3 months. He's not been in the game that long. Like, how long of the season have we got left? Yeah, he's been in the game for like just under 3 months. And he already has more skins than the both of them. Venture's been in the game for almost a year. What do you mean Venture just has not gotten anything? Hazard hasn't been in the game for 5 seasons now. He's got nothing. What the shit? And don't worry, the same will be discussed when we get to her. Like, again, it's just like, it feels like they just designed Wuyang to be a seller for skins. Like, his base design, as I mentioned, is relatively standard, nothing like too impressive. And it feels like that was done intentionally. So you want to buy the cool Joker skin. You want to buy the Poolside skin where he's hot and shirtless. Oh, you want to buy Garou because you were like One Punch Man, even if the skin looked quite shit. Like, yeah, I'm a proprietor of the problem, but I like Persona. I bought the whole bundle because it's Persona themed. I didn't buy it because, Wuyang. I want specifically the Wuyang skin. It's like, yeah, I'm glad Joker's in the game, but I don't think giving it to him was a great idea. It's just like, he'd been in the game for, you know, as I said, under 3 months. He's already got 2 collab skins and more legendaries than Venture and Hazard. He's got what? He's got more collab skins than some of these characters who have been in the game since day uno. Lucio still does not have a collab skin. He's one of the OG faces of Overwatch. And Wuyang's already got 2. That's not good. It's not good at all, actually. Yeah, you get the idea. I can only talk about skin discourse so much before, especially in the support category, before it just becomes like a chore. Like, this is just annoying. This is so annoying. It feels it doesn't even feel like they're hiding it. Like, it just feels really blatant that Wuyang was like almost designed to sell skins first and have a cool base design second. Like, it's frustrating. I wouldn't be surprised if when we saw his concept art, they already had like the Joker stuff ready to go. And they were already in talks with Atlas. Like, yeah, well, look at this cool young Asian. Oh, you wanna do a collab with us? Oh, quick, don't worry, we're making a young Asian guy. He's gonna be perfect for Joker. Trust us, guys. It's just like, I know most of the time, I believe the license holders pick who they want to give the collab skins to, but still, it doesn't change the fact that it feels like Wuyang was almost like built for this. Like Blizzard said, oh, don't pick that character. Don't worry, we've got a character that's like perfect for Joker. And Atlas was like, oh yeah, sure, we'll give it to him then. I don't know. It just feels kind of weird. It just feels very weird. I'm gonna put my Jade weapons back on because I was only using it so I could show off the color scheme on the staff. It's just like, I like Wuyang. Like this is probably the end of the video. Yeah, this is the end of the video. I like Wuyang. I like his gameplay a lot. I think he's one of the best design supports we've had in a long time. Or one of the best characters we've had designed, like kind of sort of balance-wise in a very long time. But he's very fun as well. It's not like he's like balanced and boring. He's balanced and fun. I think his base design is relatively fine. I like a lot of the Chinese influence into it. But again, his base design is simple because they clearly wanted to sell us skins. So, and also, actually, I want to point out, he did not have any victory poses on release. None. Zero. Zilch. Zero. On release, he had no victory poses. That is abysmal. At least Freya had some. I know she only had like 2. I think it was just Stakeout and Formidable. They've obviously given her more since, but like, he had none? No victory poses. This is a collab victory pose. This is a Battle Pass victory pose. If you didn't buy this Battle Pass, and you didn't buy the Joker or the Persona 5 bundle, you don't have a victory pose for Wuyang, and you never will until they give him a base one. I mean, he doesn't even have a laugh emote. What do you mean he doesn't have a laugh emote? Every character has a laugh emote. Where's his? Are we stupid? Like, he's a walk emote, and he's a sitting emote. But he doesn't have a laugh. What? It's crazy. And he only has like 1 highlight intro as well. I mean, it's pretty good work. This is a pretty good highlight intro. I like the animation work on it. It's neat. It's neat. But like, he just had. But again, a further example, he has no sprays. He doesn't have any. No sprays. Like, none at all. Like, if we go to Freya, we go to a spray section. Like, she has some. Like, yeah, look, spray here, spray there. She's got a few more down here. They're all pretty standard, kind of boring, but she has some sprays. Wuyang doesn't. He has no sprays. I'm really worried for the Gladiator woman today. Like, as of me recording this video again. But, like, I'm really worried for her if she comes out. She just has, like, I'm actually kind of worried that she's gonna release. She's gonna have no blue rarity skins. She's just not gonna have highlight intros. Like, oh man, they've really got to stop. Like, they got. I'm sorry. You could have taken the effort that you put into, like, I don't know, making this skin, and, you know, just giving him like highlight, like a victory pose or some sprays or something. Like, it's crazy that he doesn't actually have any. But anyways, I feel like I need to put that in before we ended the video. Yeah, I like Wuyang. I do like him, despite my qualms with how they distribute skins and the such, and all of that palaver. I do like him. I think his story has a few plot holes in it when it comes to obviously explaining how his shit works, but still, it's a fine enough story. I don't particularly relate to it. I just don't think it's particularly anything fantastic. Gameplay is very, very good. His design is, again, standard. And yeah, I like him. And I feel like I should mention this because I don't know when else I'm ever going to bring this up. You can actually read and watch most of what I discussed in the lore segment now. We have the story segment here. It's on the main menu down at the bottom. This is very interesting. I'm very excited to see what they're doing with this. It's a very choice thing to add now of all times, and also add 2 sections that say coming soon. I'm very excited. Overwatch is gearing up for something, and I'm really excited for once. Like, yeah, you can read Wuyang's motion comic, and you can watch his hero trailer down here, which are obviously things I've already gone over in this video, but yeah, maybe if you want to see it for yourself. The artwork for his comic is really lovely, and the animation work on the trailer is a little bit off. I think the models could kind of do with some refining. I kind of wish they had more defined outlines. But yeah, like Freya's trailers are here. You have a recap of the story so far. The new comics that they released are, you know, well, okay, this was a lore drop, but the motion comic with Ram and Zen is in it here. Like, you know, we're gearing up for something. Null Sector has pulled back, and as it says, for when one threat wanes, another will surely rise to take its place. And I wonder who that could be, guys. It's almost like there's a gladiator woman round the corner. But yeah, with all of that said, the next video in this lovely series, actually, before I get to that, thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it as always. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, whether it be a good morning, afternoon, evening, etc. And the next video in this series will be on none other than the harmonic lovely man, omnic monk man himself, Zenyatta.